Yo guys, we're here watching this game with you. We're gonna do a quick analysis. I got Dinero with me.
Yo.
It's the first time we're doing this, so sorry if it's terrible. But it's a game where I played my SS3 Goku deck versus a Caulifla Ginyu setup versus George here. So I believe I go first.
And guys, sorry if we stumble over the cards a little bit here.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
that's basically it, you know.
Yep.
Quickly
All right,
said.
So I didn't actually go first. George went first. Plays Sorbet, and then I do the SS3, you know, the effect, and draw straight into a black-red, which is terrible. So you definitely don't want to see the black on this because it kind of slows you down at least one turn. I would rather see either two red or a blue and a red. But because he played Sorbet like an idiot, shout out to George.
Yeah.
I was able to play the Legic for free to get that blocker out there, and then the Pan for the draw. So the deck I'm playing it's semi-competitive, not super great, but pretty fun. It's focused on counters and stealing, so you try to build up a board presence by stealing the other players' cards, negating attacks with topos and negating with other things, so that they're never able to really get anything off, and then you get the advantage. So getting the blocker out there early is really good.
Yeah, and never underestimate a turn one Legic. A lot of people like to side that card. I've actually started it, main decked it in a few builds, and I mean it's pretty often that you get it out. I mean turn one, and it's really good. Puts on a lot of early pressure on your opponent, and obviously the blocker component. It's not easy to kill. So
I leave one energy open here to be able to play some of the counter cards or draw one cost. George decides to, he charges the two big cards. That's pretty smart early. His deck is trying to get as much Ginyu Force in hand, so putting anything down on the ground that isn't a Ginyu Force card is what he's trying to do. And so I'm taking the first two hits for sure on this as quickly as possible. I want to awaken as fast as I can to get down to 4, so that I'm getting my 3 energy back. So I go ahead and charge a Legic, and that's another great use for Legic is just red energy. So after you put the first one out, you can kind of throw the other ones down if you have people on the field or whatever you want to do.
yeah, you're really not. I mean, it's not really a late game card. So like you said, awesome energy source. Mid game, which for most games in this meta now, mid game is probably turn 3. Turn 2. I would say that's probably mid to late game at this point.
Yeah.
But
so George, I put down the Gohan, and the main focus of the deck besides the Towas to steal is negates and draws. So almost all the red cards I play draw cards. So it's like the 1-cost combo Goku from the starter deck that draws, the Pan, the Gohan. Everything's trying to get more cards in your hand so that you fill your hand with negates and counters. So that when he goes to turn 4 or 5, he's getting negated. Everything's getting negated, and then I can pretty much win the game because he has no cards in hand. Let's see. So George charges another one of his bigger Frieza cards. Bird, or what is that? Jace. Jace is interesting because he draws, top of the 3, play a Ginyu. The whole idea behind the Caulifla Ginyu deck is to spam out as many Ginyu as possible and just flood the board. And then when he's at 5 or 4 energy, he's able to take a life, give them all plus 5k, take another life, and give them another 5k, so it pumps everyone up to, 20, 25, even 30,000 potentially.
Yeah, for the people that haven't had a chance to kind of see the Caulifla card yet, or play against it, we'll just give you a real quick kind of rundown. So on the main phase, once per turn, you can choose one card in your life, add it to your hand. Choose this card and all of the non-black cards in your battle area, and they gain 5,000 power for the turn. When your life is at 4 or less, you can draw 2 cards, which is amazing. The flip 2 energy back can be good depending on how you built your deck, but for the most part, card advantage is always gonna be king. Aside from the Go Tanks matchups.
Yes.
But on the flip side, there on the Awakened side, you got choose one card in your life, add it to your hand. So kind of the same thing, and then when the card attacks, draw 1 card. But yeah, just for the people who haven't had a chance to play against her yet.
Yeah, it's really good to you get to take the lives out, draw from the life, flip 2, get 2, take another life. Like you can get a ton of Ginyu Force in your hand if you play. You get part of the cards comes through. So I'm willing to give up the Gohan here to fill my Overwhelm because I have the Towa in hand. So I'm trying to get at least 4 in the drop. The Gohan's not that big a deal. I already got my draw off of it. Would have been nice to keep him, but it's not the end of the world. Let's see, what do I do here? Yeah, so I decided to take it to get down to that awakening point. So you really want to get down to 4 lives with SS3 so that you're getting that 3 energy back. It really changes the game for you. Like if someone stalls you, you need to run some kind of self-awakening cards in any SS3 deck because they're gonna stall you out. And if they keep you at 5 or 6, you can really not do well.
Yep.
So now that I'm at 4 life, I decided to use the blocker and fill the Overwhelm. So once you get to 4, at least with my deck here, it's pretty difficult to get you under 4. Sometimes you want to drop to 3, but almost never you want to go under 3. But because of how many counters, negates, and just the amount of blockers and presence you have, once this gets going, you really hardly ever drop under 4 life if you're going to win the game. So I put down the 1 blue energy. It's important because this is the turn where you're gonna get 3 energy back. You want to be playing Whisa's Coercions, Mafubas, and then any other just 1-cost combo cards to save yourself and start messing with his game plan. So I overwhelm the Towa, steal the Birder. Probably could have stole the Raccoon, but I wanted to steal someone in active mode. So those who don't know, Towa is Overwhelm 4, and she steals a cost 2 or lower card from your opponent's side. It does not switch it to active mode, so you have to steal one that is in active mode to get it to come back, but you gain all the effects. You don't get the on-play effects, though, which would make the card super broken.
Yeah, probably best they leave that out.
Yeah,
so that, people don't complain.
And Towa, I think, I really like the card. I think it's not super competitive, but it's really fun for playing at locals. Not many people play it. And I really only think it's pretty good in SS3. Because when you do the Evolve, you're able to get 3 of those energy back. So you're essentially stealing a 6-drop or lower from their side with that Evolved version for 1 energy, which is super good. If you can steal... any of Rapid Onslaught, certain decks that need evolve targets, you can just steal it. They're totally screwed.
Yeah, I think it definitely has its place in this deck. Also, the SS3 Bardock deck, but I mean most black cards are pretty viable in that. But yeah, when you're running it with the right setup against the right opponent, but especially people who like to spam a lot of lower cost cards, it can really ruin lives. Especially, I mean, you're taking people's, kabas and veggies, and not getting their kill effects, and off the Cauliflas and all that kind of stuff too is really brutal. People don't expect anybody to really be playing Towa because it's not a super heavy card, so it's a nice surprise.
Yep. So I played the Topo here to apply pressure and try to keep his board clear. I'm attacking the Raccoon and using my third energy up to get the draw and guarantee that the Topo restands himself so that I can apply more pressure to their leader. Versus the Caulifla, you definitely want to be taking as much life as quickly as possible, because the more life they have, the more times they're going to be able to do their effect. And so if you can limit the amount of times, and any leader like that, like Vegeta or Ginyu or anything that you can, or even a Mecha, if you can just get life out of their hand or out of their life, it slows them down and keeps them from doing what they want to do.
Little card reading going on.
What just happened? Oh, he awakened.
Yep. On Awaken, there's that 2-card draw. Super helpful, especially when you're, you know, feeling like you're getting shit on, like he is right now. Again, shout out to Taco.
Alright, so I pass turn and stand up the 3. I think I actually made a mistake here in not taking the Towa off the table. She should go to the Overrealm.
If you're still thinking about it, I'll let you know you made a mistake.
Yeah. No, I did.
But
and
luckily, that's
I hope it didn't.
That's partly the guy across the table's job to figure that out, also. But yep,
it happens.
We'll see how long it takes for sure.
This is why you practice. All right, so he's taking forever to. He's playing mind games, trying to take forever to pick his energy.
Best mind games player in the game.
I think he's struggling with. He's wanting to play the Ginyu card. That this deck the reliable Captain Ginyu. Let's see, what is he? No, he doesn't even have it in hand, so no, he isn't. I don't know why he's not just charging. Like a negate or something, but. Alright.
Yep, we got one of those just spectacularly long turns here. You know, one of those finals at ARG, final game, final table, final play, win or lose. But not really, so. King of mind games. Got John here trying to steal a card.
His card was too high up in the sleeve for me. I had to push it back down. I can't handle that.
Yeah, no.
Non-symmetry.
Pet peeves for sure.
But because I get the 3 energy back, like I have 4 energy available on my turn, and I think I have 4 or 5 counter cards in hand right now. So I can pretty much play all of them if I wanted to, because you know the blue Whis don't use an energy. Then I can play the Topo and then a Mafuba. So pretty much anything he's going to try to do to me is going to get countered at this point. And the entire idea is to basically not let him do what he wants to do, and then pressure him and clear his board every turn. So he's steadily building the Ginyu force out there. He's doing a good job of it, but it's really wants to spam it out with that reliable Ginyu, but I know when I played him, I know he said that he just couldn't draw into it in this game quick enough. Alright, so I let the attack go through, I believe. No negates or anything.
See, it looks like he drew into that Ginyu there.
Yep. And so he decides not to combo, which is probably a mistake here, but I just use his card that I stole from him to block the attack.
Yep, free blocker.
Towa's still out there, still cheating. I hope that doesn't have an effect on the game later. I can't remember if it does. I don't think it has a direct effect on the game.
Yeah, it's pretty much just an ornament right now. Could have an effect on his mind though. Maybe he's afraid to
too much pressure.
Afraid to attack
That
because of
pressure.
the D.
Alright, so he passes. Just trying to build his board.
Yeah, which I mean,
It's smart. It's what he wants to do. He got the reliable. He wants to draw into some Ginyu, pump him up next turn.
It is what he wants to do. With that amount of cards in hand, I would definitely
he needs more
have
Ginyu.
tried to take care of the topo. Considering
while it was tapped.
because that can definitely be trouble, especially when your opponent has 6 cards in hand and can probably combo 5Ks up and kill your entire board.
So I'm just looking to find more cards. So I play the pan, trying to fill my hand with the things I need. Those who don't know what she does, she's from the starter deck. You play her on the field for 1, and then she gives a red card or a red leader plus 5k, and then when you combo with her from the field, you draw a card. So it's like a 1-cost draw plus a sense of being 5k up.
Yeah,
on something. It's
really
pretty
good card.
It's one of those cards that you can play at any stage of the game. It's gonna get you what you want. More pressure, more cards. It's good.
Yeah, sorry guys that like all foil decks. Not gonna happen with that card. But still really good effect though. The effect is basically foil. Shuffling going on.
Yep, so here I just play the Yajirobe. It's a good card versus deck because he's got so many kind of low-cost, just, vanilla smackers out here. So I'm able to put him out there, block anything, KO any of his cards I want to, and it's just one more target that he has to deal with if he wants to get rid of it, which I don't think his deck runs very much board clear, which is a big problem for him. So just more pressure from the topo. He uses a blocker, which I think was actually kind of dumb of him, because then I just combo up, draw, and stand the topo back up again. So he kind of wasted it.
Yeah.
And I just attack again. So that's definitely a mistake on his part. He should have just let it go through, then comboed it out with the Jace, or I don't know.
This goes back to obviously wanting to get rid of that topo. It's such a versatile card, and I mean at 20k, it's really good, but it's not great. You can definitely get rid of it, even without effects and certain cards. Like you can really clear it with just basically attacking it. Most people aren't gonna really work too hard to save it because it's not anybody's end game. So it's definitely worth attacking if you ever catch it in res mode.
Yep. And so here I pass the turn with 3 energy tapped just to bring back 3 and get all my 5 stood back up. Because I have so many negates in my hand, I'm really hoping that he starts attacking, and start using things. So I believe he plays the reliable Ginyu Force here. Yep. Which this card allows you to play any Ginyu Force from your hand out on the board. So if you had 10 Ginyu Force cards, you could play 10 at once. He only has 2, which isn't super good, but he's already got 2 in the field, so it's not terrible. So that kind of builds up his board really fast. But because I have 5 energy and so many negates in hand, this does not go well for him. I'm basically
little foreshadowing.
I'm basically able to defend against anything he throws at me for this turn and potentially the next one, because I have a blocker on field, multiple Whis Coercions, Mafuba, I believe another Topo.
Yeah, I mean this is exactly how you want to play a deck that spams. This is a great matchup for John. I mean, patience is key in it. You can definitely play too fast and hurt yourself. But I mean, against somebody who has to work to get a lot of cards out on the board, just sitting back, defending, letting them kind of get through their entire game plan, and then taking their board away in a turn or two is just devastating for the Ginyu player. But it's sometimes it's just the matchup.
Yeah. So he plays the
Scientist food.
Scientist food here, and actually this is a mistake on his part. He should have played this before he played the Reliable Captain, because he would have got, 2 more chances to draw into Ginyu Force. I don't think he drew one though, so it's not that big a deal, but he definitely should have done it in the other order.
Yeah, I mean, also, it's
And I don't think
it's probably worth even trying to get that extra Ginyu card attacking with your leader at that point, just to get the extra card draw.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, most leaders, there's not a ton of decks aside from, maybe the starter coup where you want to save that leader attack, until later in your turn. Most of the time you want to get that card draw right away. There are a couple leaders that you can wait on, but for the most part...
Like Go tanks, you want to wait.
Yeah.
You want to get as many cards out of your hand as possible, then attack, but most of the time you want to attack before. I think he forgot to use an energy for the Scientist food, so there's another misplay here. Make sure you're paying cost for things. Not that big a deal, since my Towa's still out there. I guess we're even.
It's a good looking Towa.
Yeah, so he combos with this, and I believe that card... Let's see what it does. It's pretty good. I've never played it, though. So that card, when you combo or play this card, or when you play or combo this card, choose all of your Ginyu Force in the battle area. They gain plus 5,000. So he pumps them all up by 5,000, and I believe he takes a life here too, which gives him another 5,000. So it's plus 10k to everyone on the board except for Scientist Fu, which would be pretty insane versus almost any other deck besides the one he's playing against right now.
Yep, that would be really hard to counter. Sorry about our dragon, by the way. Romeo's having a hard time.
It's too hot.
Yeah, too hot in the house for the pup.
So yeah, he takes the life. They all go up by 5k, and then another 5k from that combo piece. And he's gonna attack with the Scientist Fu here. It's kind of a good choice. Gets cards out of my hand. It's the one that's going to go away after the turn. Play it. Use it first. It's nothing if anything happens. Any kind of a card that'll KO as a counter. Doesn't affect him too much. So I take the hit here just to get more cards in hand, get more negates, because he's attacking with 5 more cards. And none of his guys have double strikes, so I'm not too afraid of it. And I believe I counted in my hand how many counters I had and how much energy. And I could have got out 6 attacks, I think, if I wanted to.
Yeah, so here's when it, is just going to start going downhill for him.
Yep.
Comes in with the Raccoon, gets the Topo, automatic negate.
Yep. So this negate's so good because if you have the 2, especially in SS3, because you're bringing energy back, you get the, basically a free negate with 2 red, which then puts him out in the field, and he's got the great board clear. So you're building up your deck, your board on his turn. So here I use the board
Jerobian.
Basically use the blocker on board first before you use things out of your hands. You want to use the stuff you've already paid energy for. And it's going to KO his card, so that's pretty good. And Raccoon on my turn gets the plus 6,000, so he's hard to deal with. So I use a Whisk Coercion here just to stop another attack. Keep him from hitting me down any lower. He's going to attack again.
Basically, this is his
Whisk Coercion.
Yeah, this is his final stand here. He's trying to go for the game. 2 life left. Getting rid of all of his blockers.
Yep. So he passed. He left a blocker up, thinking he was safe.
And honestly, at this point, if you're gonna, if you attack with 5 out of your 6 attackers, and your opponent has 2 topos up, and I'm sure that Towa probably scared him, even though that's not something that's going to be attacked with. And somehow John managed to remember that Fu got sent back to the graveyard right in front of his Towa, but not his Towa.
That happens.
I
don't know
but
why.
But yeah, I mean, with 2 Topos out like that, and you know, as many cards as he has in hand, I don't know how many cards George has in hand here, but it's looking pretty grim with 1 energy up.
Yep. So here I'd play another Towa. I steal a Raccoon. No real reason, just to get rid of it, because it's annoying on my turn. And it's an evolved target. Oh. Okay, so yeah, I ended up cheating big time. I should not have been able to attack. I don't think it made that much of a difference. It really wouldn't have... Okay, maybe it does. So he negates this and drops the yellow card, which he shouldn't even have had negated. But I would have attacked with someone else, so it's not too crazy.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
shitty.
5 cards.
Sucks.
5 cards in hand. He had to drop 2 for the negate. I mean, you go in with Topo, he still drops the same 2.
Which actually does really screw with my game plan.
Yeah, you still...
But I am able, and once again, this shouldn't have happened. There shouldn't be another toe on the board. Doesn't make that much of a difference. But I was able to steal his blocker, which I think he was counting on to keep him alive.
So what it's really... I mean, I know we're just splitting hairs here, but what it's really going to come down to is if you actually attack with the second Towa. Because considering the fact that you played another one...
I don't think I do.
You could have done this with the Towa that you played on this turn, and then the game is exactly the same.
But I decide I have enough combo pieces on the board that I think I can out-combo him because he doesn't have any cards, and he only has extras. So I attack with the leader to try to get him to drop more cards from his hand and get me another card in hand for the final shot with the Kaba. So I don't think he does anything here. I think he just lets it go away, and I take the draw. Which isn't a great draw, because I definitely... Well, maybe it is. Okay, so he just lets it go, which is the smart move. And I attack with her. He has no energy, so he can't negate it. This is super dangerous for him with only 2 or 3 cards in hand. So I get another +1 on the card, and then just drop everything I have. So I definitely use the extra Towa to combo here, which is not good, but I think he couldn't have gotten over anyways, so it didn't really
with 2 cards, if there's no negates, it's pretty much...
And I think all he had was...
Pretty much the game.
Yeah, so then I combo out with everything I have, and I think I get up to somewhere in the 50, 60,000 range, and he only has 3 cards in hand and can't stop it. So I think he only has... Yeah, he only had 1 combo, or 2 combo pieces, so it wouldn't have mattered anyways, but...
Yep, so a little misplay, but honestly, with the... I mean, obviously the second Towa play completely would have been the same outcome.
Feels shitty to be a cheater, but feels good to win.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Just remember, always keep it over 9,000, guys.